Hello, 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 and welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to the Wrapped and Scraps family channel. Now, I know you guys see me standing in front of this little door here, and yes, it has been a very long time. But hey, we were in the year of the 2020, okay? So there was a lot of things going on that kind of got in the way of me showing you this craft room that's behind this door. But I'm not gonna keep you waiting. We're gonna get into it right now. First, let me put my little coat in. Yes, I do have a coat on my door to keep my kids out, okay? Welcome to my humble abode. Come with me. Here she is. I'm so excited, you guys. I know this does not seem like much to most. But this is amazing to me. This was just a regular room that me and my honey have turned into this fabuloso scrapbook room, craft room, fun room, relax room, creativity room, whatever it is you want to call it. This is what it is. So this room right here, this is where it all goes down. This is where the real magic happens. I mean that in every way imaginable, okay? It all goes down here. So when you first come into the room, this is the first shop here. This is the first shop. Here we just have some drawers here. I'm gonna go through all that and show you what's in there. This is where I come in and put all my new products or items that I'm gonna be using or that I want to use. I put them here so that way I won't forget that I have them. When we first come into the room, I have my paper pack here. I have my TV area here with the little station here with all my blings and glitz and glam stuff in this unit here. Over here we have the sewing section. I have my sewing machine here along with other stuff all behind these cabinets that we're going to get into, okay? I did reupholster this little chair. I do need to get like a real cushy, nice, comfy one. But until then, this shall work. There's a few things I do need to get finished in here. Let's see if you can pick them out like back in the day, World's Wardrobe books. We're going to see if you can find them, okay? But there's a few things. But I got my sewing table here. And one of the things I love the most about this room, this is what I like most about this room. Now it's raining. I know it's raining. But even on a rainy day, you really can't beat this. It's just so nice. Fresh air. So when I'm working with all the fumes, glues and paints and alcohols and all the stuff that can be flammable, spray paints and all that jazz, I can open up this door right here and get all this fresh air. Okay? So moving on. Over here on this side, this is the sublimation machine side. We also have my beautiful girls here. I've got 4. This lists 3. There's another one on the first cabinet that was over there that we probably missed. But over here is just a lot of more storage things. Items that I have in there, all my cutting supplies, all that jazz. We're going to get into that. This area here, this whole area, yes, we did this with Home Depot's help. Now, I found out that they weren't supposed to cut this. So I can't show you the footage because I don't want it to get whoever cut it for me in trouble because he's on the footage. But I guess you weren't supposed to cut it due to some type of rule. But what we did is we covered it up with a clear like vinyl, a thick vinyl, so that way I can take it off and reuse it as need be. I haven't taken it off yet, which is why it's looking a little bit messed up, but it's stapled on there, so I can actually take this plastic right off and put on a new piece. And so that's gonna have to work until I can actually go into a store and get the piece that I want for my tabletop, because I do want some type of solid surface that's not porous. Okay, so we're gonna be doing that. But you guys, I love all the blue. I have another video that I showed previously where I did all the blue cabinets. It took me like a month or 2 to paint all these blue cabinets, but it came about really well. Now, the back shelf here. I have a lot of items here that I personally love, that brings me satisfaction. My old sticker book from when I was 8 or 9 years old. A favorite book that my mother used to read to me when I was like 6 or 7. Here's another favorite book that my mother used to read to me when I was probably about 10 or 11. And I did spend a lot of time at the library. I was a library nerd. I did like reading, so I was there a lot. Here's a picture, a photo book cover that I made. Some artwork from my children. A girl's got to have her snack shelf, so that's the snack shelf. And I have a fish tank here with no fish in it because everything's closed and I haven't found the one I want yet, but that's gonna come. Here, over here, we just got some books. I've got my e-bosser because I am a scrapbooker as well, so I've got that over here. These are the major books that I use most of the time, so I have them out. Got Nikki Boyd's beautifully organized home planner here that I utilize. On this shelf, we've just got some random cards that I made, or some that were made for me, drawn by one of my brothers. Some cards made from one of the ladies at my church for all the men in the men's meeting for Father's Day. So you guys have seen this back wall numerous times in my videos, because this is my main filming area. This is where I like to do most of my filming, with the back wall here. We've got my trademark, the Wrapped in Scraps girl that I drew up. Yes, in case you were wondering, I drew up that cartoon character. That's me, in my opinion, in cartoon, with the hair and everything, because of doing crafts and getting stuff stuck in my hair, glitters, glues, stamps, stickers, all that stuff. So yes, I drew her up. That's my girl. All right. So all this you have here behind me, all this wonderfulness, I love it because I can sit here and open all these drawers, get what I need. And so this is the inside portion of my island. As you can see here, I do have drawers going all the way down of different. This is my adhesive drawer there. Have all my adhesives. I will be doing a more in-depth video of all the stuff that I have in these drawers. Okay. So I've got 2 of them. I have one here, and then over here on this side I have another of the drawers here. And okay, keeping these drawers, you know, my most staple items that I need to run and facilitate such a big job as crafting, creating, and doing the things I do in here. I also do a lot of homeschooling in here too as well, so keep that in mind. But I am so happy that you guys are here with me. Yes, to my left is my studio, to my right is my bathroom. So when I'm crafting and stuff, I don't even have to go far. I'll tell you a little secret. Oh, here's a little secret. My secret is this. This is between you and I, okay? Here's what it is. I'm hoping that honey don't mind me doing that whole bathroom. I want to actually renovate that bathroom for a craft studio. It has a full shower in there. Full shower. We don't need that. That is never going to be used. So I would like to rip it out and make some storage and make a big giant sink for all my craft stuff, like my paint brushes and all that jazz. So I'm going to be working on him. Make sure he's not coming. I'm going to be working on him because that's my goal. That's what I want. Okay? So, all right, you guys. So on this wall, I call this my color wall. And I think it's self-explanatory why I call this wall my color wall. But as you can see here, we have lots of colors going across the top. I've got all my ribbons, followed up with all of my... And so I have here at the top of my little color shelf here, all of my ribbons, as you can see, going across the top of the 2 shelves. Okay, at the very top we've got some birthday memorabilia and coming down we've got some paints, a lot of different paints here, as well as distress inks. I love Tim Holtz products, so there's a lot of those. Alcohol inks, glitters, paints, more paints. We've got some stamp pads in every single color imaginable. And then tons and tons of stamps that I have decided to place in these little plastic CD old school CD cases. Is where I placed them, and as you can see, they're clean stamps, clear, or some are not, but they're all in there. Okay, we've got several rows of that. This whole bunch of stamps. Okay, going all the way back, and I have more behind my door too, but this is where I keep the bulk of them. We've got the Cricut Explorer. I also have the Cricut Imagine, and then the original Cricut. Down at the bottom, there's just some more products for different activities that I do. CDs, a lot of different journals and things. I love journals. As you know, I love my fireplace, okay? So that is definitely a staple in this room. And moving on to the other shelf, the remaining of the rest of the colored ribbons. I did color code them, as you can see. Going across, don't want to make you guys dizzy. Hope I'm not going too fast. But that's from one shelf to the other. On this shelf, I've just got some colored fabrics here. Some pictures of my husband and I and a few friends. My sisters and I. My auntie and I. My husband on our wedding day. More fabrics. I just really wanted this area to be as colorful as possible. So here we've got more glues here. The kids usually utilize this area here with the markers, crayons, aside from my Copic markers, which these two top drawers are full of the large Copic markers. And then over here in this little house that I can reach in, I love this, I have my other Copic markers. I never gotten too deep into it, but I do enjoy using them. Okay, this holds all of my cards, okay, and envelopes here. And then the rest of this stuff from here down is really just for my girls. All the things that I allow them to use for their creative days when they're doing arts and crafts. Okay. And that sums up both of the color shelves. That's what I call it. Color City. It's my Color City. Okay. Love it. Absolutely love it. Alright. So that is that, you guys. Behind the door here, as you can see, yes, I have two of my robes that one of them I'm still making, the pink one that I never got a chance to finish. So I'm still in the works of doing that, all right? And behind that area, all of my paper stuff, okay? This is behind the door here in this corner. I've got the old Cricut Imagine that I still pull out and use every once in now and then, okay? That picture there I painted at a sip and trip. Paint and sip, but I like to call sip and trip. All right, I've got my papers here. Yes, I do have the kind you have in the store. I bought two of them from a lady off of Facebook Market. And then just paper pads, more paper, a printer, okay? My little Light Bright doll, some of y'all might remember that. Yes, I had one. This is not the one, but I found this one. And I had to add it to the mix. And guess what? Guess what? I think she still lights up. Oh, oh, turn the lights out. Oh, yep. Yes, she still lights up. Okay? So, we've got the Light Bright. It's one of the dolls I had when I was a child. You will see several dolls around this room. And I've had them since I was a child, aside from one, the boy doll. My auntie purchased that for me as a Christmas gift. So, he's my only boy doll I have, but he's my newbie. Okay? If I ever didn't show y'all this purse that I made, it has some magazines in it right now. I just house my magazines in there. But this purse I made, yes, some of you ladies have already guessed it, for the Scrapbook Expo, okay? This is the purse that I wore for the Scrapbook Expo. Shall we see her? And I made some shoes to go with it. And so on my sewing table, I made this really cool sewing sign with a whole bunch of old spools to go atop. And here you just have some pictures of me and my band. We had a band called Reminisce, did old school Motown type music.
And I just have all of my sewing supplies here. Some of them, not all. I have a calendar, a whiteboard, and the little lagoon that was next to the lake where I lived before I got married. This was my first happy place, and me and my daughter at the time loved spending time there. Here I've got my rulers and my quick little calendar, and like I said, my whiteboard. And here is a picture of my three youngest daughters. There's three of them there. That was for last Easter. And that is my little sewing space.
All right, you guys, so here's one of the things that I love so much about this setup. Like I stated previously, I really mapped this whole room out of how I wanted it. And one of the things I really wanted was a place where I can do different crafts. So over here is just for, you know, paperwork or whatever I have to do, my to-do list for the day. Over here is for the major crafts. All right, you guys, so the very last thing I wanted to show you really quickly about my craft room, and one of the things that I really love about this room is that I'm able to, when you do your room yourself and you kind of lay out the furniture and how you want it to go, I think it's a great ideal to do for those who are really into crafts and hobbies. I think it's great to sketch out on a piece of paper, which is what I did, and go through and put each thing or supplies that you would want to hold in each of those drawers to kind of get a lay of the land, if you will, on how you want things to operate and go. So that is what I did. And so that is what I did here in this room. And one of the things that I implemented into this room is for my sewing table and my table that I use for my heat press, as well as my cutting table for sewing, to be mobile. Okay, so this is what I mean by that. So I can come over here and pull out my television and turn it this way. Okay, also I can take my sewing desk here and I can turn it any way I want. I can turn it that way, I can turn it this way. Normally I will have it like this, kind of blocking my kids from being able to come back here because if not, they'll be all in my business. Okay, then this table as well can scoot out. It's on wheels as well, okay? And what I love about this table is that it can go for several different things. For one, as I stated, I can use it for my cutting when I am doing my fabric cuts, okay? And it's perfect because I set this up here. I've got my chair here, so I just have these two stations right next to each other. And so this is my little station here, as you can see. It houses everything I need. I've got all of my drawers with all of the things in them to be able to utilize for my sewing. And then of course behind me, all the stuff in these cabinets are for sewing. We've got the serger here, my ironing boards, and more so heavy sewing machines, and actually another mechanical fabric cutter here. Then at the bottom, I have my embroidery machine down here. And at the top, I have more things for knitting, crocheting, all that jazz, okay? So I have all the things I need in this area. This cabinet is full of fabric. This drawer is full of bobbins and thread, okay? So everything that I need is all right here. And of course, the table here has drawers that are full of supplies as well. So I can use this for my cutting. If I want to press something, I can easily just remove this. And this little quilt here, this was my first quilt that I ever made a couple of years ago, many years ago actually. And I use this as my ironing for my pressing when I'm doing my quilting or making whatever garment I'm making. Okay, and also this also doubles as my table for my heat press, which is inside of this unit here. And I purposely, when I was designing this room, decided to put it next to my sublimation machine and all of its pieces and equipment, so that way I wouldn't have to run all around the room. I can have my heat press right here, which is usually up here with the handle there. And I could have my sublimation here with all the drawers for all of the materials for that, all the shirts, all of the inks, all of the pressing pads for the bowls and plates and things of that nature. Okay. And who wants to sew without a cup of coffee and or tea? So of course I have my coffee, tea, and wine ready. Okay. So that is one of the things that I really, really, truly love about this room, was that I was able to make it exactly what I wanted it to be, in the color I wanted it, with the supplies I wanted to have in it, with all of the bells and whistles. I said previously, there's still a few things I want to do. I'm not all the way done, but so far, I'm pretty satisfied. I will be bringing you some more information about what's in all these cabinets, because if you saw my video from my first craft room video when I was just cleaning, purging, and painting, you would know I had a lot of stuff in here. Believe it or not, I'd say 90% of the stuff I had is still in here. You just can't really tell because it's all behind the cabinets. It's all in all these drawers and cabinets. And that's the feel I was going for. I wanted to have my color wall, which I showed you, and I wanted to have my filming wall, which I've showed you, but I also wanted to have a way to store all my supplies where I didn't feel cluttered and closed in. I like to see my stuff, but I don't want to feel like I'm like closed in and claustrophobic, okay? So yes, I do have a lot of supplies, and that is because I do a lot of different crafts. Everything from painting to quilting to crocheting there's a lot that I do. And I don't want to limit myself and say, well, I'm only going to do this craft. No, if I want to enjoy myself doing all of them, I'm going to do all of them. Why not? You only live once here anyway. And so you guys, it's a little bit later on in the afternoon now. As you can see, I'm super oily at this point. And so that is it. I am actually in my, let me show you guys this. Come with me. All right, you guys. So I am now editing the film that I'm going to be showing you guys. But I thought I would come back and do my exit because I never said goodbye. So here's what I'm going to say. If you are checking out this video and you want to start doing like your own scrapbook room or craft space or girl shack, she shack, all that type of jazz, start with what you have, okay? Start with what you have. It took me years and years and years to accumulate all this, like 9 years, okay? And only a little bit is out. Most of it's behind all these cabinets. But it took me many, many years to accumulate what I have. I did not get this overnight. So just start with what you have. If you only have a little pop-up table and, you know, a few things from the dollar store, hey, that's cool. It's what you have. Start with what you have. So I just wanted to share my craft room with you guys. I know it's been a long time coming. Long time coming. But with last year just being so rickety and crazy, it just seemed as though it just kept getting pushed back, okay? And so I'm glad that I'm finally getting it out. Yes, there are some things that I still need to do in this craft room. I can see them here. They're very visible. But I figured that if I kept waiting, that it would just take a whole nother half a year before I put out a video. And so I thought I'd just go ahead and get that in the way. That way you guys can see how things are coming along. And then I'll just update you as time goes on with whatever new thing I do in here. And I like to share this type of stuff because I love looking at craft book. I love looking at craft rooms. I love to see everyone's craft room, and I like to see how they're all different, all unique, and why people did certain things and what they did and how they incorporated the pieces they loved. And I love to see the looks on their face and the pride of showing their special things, you know. So for me, that's just really cool to see. I enjoy seeing people be happy. Seeing people be happy is one of my greatest things to do in my life. So I enjoy seeing people in their happy place, because that's usually what a craft room is for people. It's their happy place. For me, it's definitely my happy place. This is where I come to think. This is where I come to dream. This is where I come to hope
This is where I come to pray a lot of times. Even though I have a prayer room closet downstairs, I usually always come up here too. This is where it all goes down, like I said in the beginning of the video. Even Honey comes in here sometimes and he'll be working on his business while I'm working on mine. And it's just nice. It's a refreshing space. And so much went into this. I know it may not look like much to some, but so much went into painting all this furniture and ripping up the floors and ripping up the carpet and painting the walls and spray painting all the cabinetry knobs and figuring out what tabletop desk we're going to put, what island top we're going to put, putting these shelves together. This was truly a labor of love for me to do this. And I'm satisfied. And that's saying a lot coming from me, because I'm usually one that's pretty hard to please in general. I'm a little spoiled. God did it. And I like things my way. And so, not saying I always get it, but that's what I like. I think we all do. But I'm really happy with how everything came out. There are some things I'm going to be working on, like I said. But overall, she is pleased. She is pleased as punch. All right. And so I hope you enjoyed seeing my room. Give you another quick little view of everything. I'm going to just do a quick spin as I talk to you. Hope you're not getting dizzy. But I love what we've done here. I love what we've done here. I love all my dolls. It reminds me of my childhood, all my childhood dolls, books, sticker books, paintings. It's all gravy. It's all great. And I hope that you have a space that's like this, or just a room, a space, anything that makes you feel good, that brings back good memories, fond memories, that brings you hope, that inspires you, that lifts you up, that makes you want to strive to do better, that makes you want to be a better person. I think it's important. Environment is everything. And sometimes even if you're not in the best environment, you can make the best environment out of the environment you're in with a little bit of elbow grease, okay? And thinking outside the box. Stay wrapped in scraps, okay? Shameless plug. Stay wrapped in scraps, okay? I know it's a hard time right now everyone's going through, but stay loving you. Stay loving you, because you can't love nobody else if you don't love you. Stay loving you. Stay loving God. Stay loving life, because you're here. I know other people we love are not here, but you are here still. So if you're here and you can watch this and you can hear me, stay loving life, because you're here. Might as well enjoy it. Might as well do your best you can to appreciate it and enjoy it and take it in. If you can take a deep breath like this, you're doing good. In today's world, you're doing real good. So appreciate that, okay? Stay loving life, stay loving you, stay loving God, and I will see you next time.